It's a poem by Denise Levertov called Primary Wonder. It begins, days pass when I forget the mystery. Days pass when I forget the mystery. Problems insoluble and problems offering their own ignored solutions jostle for my attention. They crowd its antechamber along with the host of diversions, my courtiers wearing their colored clothes, caps, and bells. And then, once more, the quiet mystery is present to me. And then once more, the quiet mystery is present to me. The throng's clamor recedes. The mystery that there is anything at all, let alone cosmos, joy, memory, everything, rather than void. And that, O Lord, Creator, hallowed one, you still, hour by hour, sustain it. My teaching series at this time is on health, healing, and awakened living. So I thought I would start there with our capacity for divine remembrance, because that is what we most need for our healing, for peace, and for renewal. This series, I pulled forth that ancient teaching, don't fight sickness, bring in health. Don't fight darkness, bring in light. And so, of course, we wonder, well, what is it exactly, to bring in light? And how do I do it? How do I bring in healing? In this series, I'm offering some strategies, because we like that. And the first one was discernment. Begin to be aware that in the omnipresence we call God and many other names, Brahman, in that omnipresence, nothing is left out of that mystery. And the healing power and presence is always there. We just have to remember it, turn to it, cooperate with it. So our first tool was discern. You're not alone. We're not alone. We are one with the one that is all that is. And today, open your heart and your mind to healing. The practice I want to focus on a little bit is prayer as a way of divine remembrance. But first, this affirmation to remember that life is divinely intelligent. I know sometimes it doesn't seem that way. But life is divinely intelligent and it is organized to heal itself. And the divine self, we call God, within all, is the healer with a capital H. And all healing arises from that reality. Within every part of our body, within every relationship, within every circumstance, the soul's intelligence knows how to bring forth healing. It already knows. It's inherent to life. And life, as we know, is not static. We're always looking for balance, but balance is not a static thing. We somehow have the idea that we could just find balance and keep it and hold it. But life moves and changes all the time. That's its nature. And with that, we are offered a continual opportunity for growth, for awakening, for healing, for returning our attention and our awareness to the source of our being, for waking up, remembering what life is, what the purpose of life is, experiencing wholeness. Paramahansa Yogananda, the guru of my guru, wrote, Lord, make the Lord the shepherd of your soul. Make the Lord the shepherd of your soul, your searchlight when you move along a shadowy pathway. Seek divine guidance. And a reminder from Yoganandaji. He says, the world will go on like this, with its ups and downs. The world will go on like this, with its ups and downs. Where shall we look then for a sense of direction? Not to the prejudice roused within us by our habits and the environmental influences of our families, of our country, or the world, but look to the guiding voice of truth within. Where shall we look for healing? To the guiding voice of truth within, the intelligent power, the presence of divine peace that we touched in meditation this morning. That's the healing power and presence within us, always. And the supportive grace that is always around us. Remembering that. So to heal is to return to the awareness of that mystery, of the divine self, and to realize our inherent wholeness and call it forth into expression. Draw from that. Draw from it. Your inherent wholeness, your spiritual existence, your consciousness. Bring it forth as divine light into expression. With spiritual awareness, we have the capacity to see that divine intelligence, power, and grace is already at work in our life. Right now, it is. If we learn how to see through conditions and go to the source of healing, we can see through grace that it's already at work in our life, in our bodies, in our relationships, in our nation, in our world. And that's our work, really, to call upon that and to bring it forth. Now, with this series, I've been sharing a little bit about my healing story, my most recent healing story. So this is the broken arm, part 2. Well, after I fell and my arm was broken, the first stop in the ER was the x-ray room. And I asked after the x-ray was done, I asked the technician what she saw, because I suspected something was broken. And she said she couldn't say what she saw because, they have to wait for the radiologist's report. But she said, but you can look at it if you want to. And so I did. And then she asked me, well, what do you see? And I said, well, I see some things that appear to be misaligned. And I also see a very large gap. I see a big open space that doesn't seem like it should be there. And she said, right? So there were several broken bones and this big gap. And I wondered, how is this going to heal? And there were many skilled helpers, including the ER docs and nurses and assistants, physician's assistant, and the orthopedic surgeon. And I'm so grateful for all of the helpers, for everyone who assisted me. And I also knew because I know this. No matter how skillful any of them are, they could not make my arm heal. Only the soul, only God accomplishes that. You know, we assign healing powers to, well, we assign them all over the place, you know, to circumstances, to other people. But God is the only healing power. There's only one power for healing, and that is the divine reality. So I knew that, you know, healers are helpers and they offer their skills, and I thank God for that. They offer their skills in support of the healing process, which is innate to us. The healing process, think about this, the healing process occurs wherever God is. And where is that? Well, that's everywhere. The healing process occurs, and let us say, is occurring wherever God is, everywhere. The divine healing power is at work all the time, and our work is to cooperate with it. So I was wondering, you know, for myself, how this healing process would take place and how I could cooperate with it. I prayed, and I also listened. Because, you know, Spirit is always showing us, always shining the light for us. So after surgery, when the PA, the physician's assistant, showed me how to support my arm with a splint, you know, there's not a lot you can do with your arm in a splint. I asked, how long? How long will healing take? And she replied, it is absolutely amazing how quickly and efficiently bones heal. That was encouraging. I still wondered, how long? And when I left her office, I went home and promptly called up Dr. Google and asked, how do bones heal? And up came this research paper that my nerdy self got so excited about, because this paper was based on studies from the annual meeting of the European Calcified Tissue Society in Helsinki. That totally got my attention. I mean, imagine, there is a calcified tissue society and it meets every year. So yes, I am going to share those findings with you about bone healing from the Calcified Tissue Society. And you might understandably wonder, why? Why am I here? Why would Yogacharya do that? What does this have to do with the spiritual power of healing? So here's some of what I learned from that research paper. Bone has the capability of scarless regeneration that enables the complete restoration of the injured bone area. Bone healing is a dynamic multi-step process that requires coordination of many cell types and signaling networks and proceeds through different phases. 1, inflammation, which injury gets broken, right? 2, repair, and 3, remodeling. You might think, well, that's just like my house. Injury or inflammation, repair, remodel. Think about these 3 stages in any healing process. And behind that, the intelligence and healing power and presence that's going on 24/7 without our knowledge, without having read the Society's research paper. This healing is already going on without our control, without our management, without our conscious participation. Think about that intelligence power of healing that is at work in your life right now. Think about that intelligent power of healing that is at work in our world right now. Unseen, at work. Verse from the Hebrew Bible, Isaiah 42:16. I will bring the blind by a way they knew not. I will bring the blind by a way they knew not. I will lead them in paths they have not known. I will make darkness light before them and crooked things straight. These things I will do for them and not forsake them. This is a prophetic voice of the power of God. When you cannot see, I'm going to shine a light for you. When you're broken, I'm going to heal you. It's beautiful, beautiful teaching. So, back to the bones. Initially, in the inflammatory phase, I hope you're going to love this, a fracture hematoma is formed, which is rich in mediators that recruit immune cells responsible first for the removal of necrotic tissue. It's the cleanup crew. So I love that, okay, this is what divine intelligence is doing. You're not doing it. It's happening. So in that first phase of inflammation and the break, there are cells that come together and they're the managers. They're the mediators and they know who to call. So the first cells that they call in are the cleanup crew. And they start getting rid of stuff that doesn't need to be there so there doesn't, you don't get an infection. And then they also recruit other cells involved in the next stages. This is like the body's LinkedIn system, right? They know who to call from the file. They have all the resumes. So they call in progenitor cells and skeletal stem cells to be involved in bone regeneration. They're in their contacts. They know. And during the repair phase, the fracture gap is first bridged by cartilaginous tissue, and that cartilage is transformed into bone. Just think of this going on. This is like one small thing about healing. At the remodeling phase, the bony callus is remodeled by osteoclasts to reconstruct the pre-injury geometry of the bone and to replace woven bone by mature lamellar bone. This is like layered bone. Instead of woven, it transforms to make it strong, like armor. Multiple rounds of remodeling generate a strong cortical bone at the fracture site, which is similar to the original bone structure. Do you find that amazing too? So here's the spiritual segue, which I hope you already guessed while I was taking you through the report. Bones know how to heal themselves. Divine intelligence is there. Your body knows how to heal itself. Our relationships know how to heal themselves. Our nation knows how to heal itself. It knows. Our world knows how to heal itself. Because where is this intelligent healing process going on? Wherever God is. We start cooperating with it by remembering that. By not getting sucked into circumstances, going straight to divine remembrance, And then considering how it is that we can cooperate with this healing power and presence. And of course, prayer is a powerful way to do that, to cooperate with the healing that wants to take place, that has already begun. Through prayer, we change our mind. We change our mind. We get rid of the obstruction in the mind through prayer. We change our thoughts of brokenness to remembrance of wholeness. We change our despair to hope. Change our despair to hope through prayer. We stop fighting the darkness and bring in the light of spiritual consciousness. When I saw my acupuncturist to support my healing, she shared a prayer with me that she had learned from Dr. Shah, a Taoist teacher. And it's a simple and powerful prayer. It recognizes and acknowledges divine intelligence already engaged in the healing process. I'm going to share that prayer with you this morning because I really liked it. I used it. And you can use this prayer for your body. You can use it for your relationships, global healing, anything and everything that you're inspired to pray about. So there's 4 easy steps in this prayer. It has us acknowledge the presence of God, the soul, power, and intelligence that is already present, and we acknowledge it with love and with appreciation. This is not a prayer, this is not a begging prayer. Yogananda did not like begging prayers because he said, I mean, any kind of prayer is okay. So if you have begging prayers, go ahead. But he said there are more intelligent kinds of prayer where you are actually acknowledging that power and presence of God and tuning into it rather than coming from a sense of separation. So, any kind of prayer is okay. Sometimes we pray help, 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 and that's a good prayer too. But this prayer starts with acknowledging that divine intelligence and healing power. With love and appreciation, we address it, we affirm it, and we offer thanks for it. So the 4 parts are, you start off by saying, soul of my, and so this could be spirit, however you want to put that word together, soul of my, and then what is the pain point? For me, it was soul of my arm, spirit of my arm, the soul, the energy, the consciousness, divine consciousness. So soul of my arm. And the next part of that prayer is, I love you. So you bring in this love and appreciation for the spiritual consciousness that is there at work on the healing. And you could be soul of my body. I love you. But if there's a specific area, you can name it. So for me, soul of my arm, I love you. And we're changing the mind then from resistance and anger. Why did this happen? This is wrong. This shouldn't be. I mean, imagine how your body feels when, you're berating it all the time about something going on, or a relationship that you're trying to heal, and you're berating it. It shouldn't be this way. That person shouldn't be this way. This shouldn't be this way. No, I love you. I love you. I love you. So we say that. Soul of my what? I love you. Soul of my relationship, I love you. Soul of the world, I love you. You feel that shift? Are you going through this with me? With your own word in there? Okay. And then you say, second step in the prayer, you have the power to heal yourself. Sometimes I like to say, you know how to heal yourself. You have the power to heal yourself. So you're thinking of this pain point. Soul of my marriage, soul of my workplace, soul of my arm, soul of my nation. I love you. You have the power to heal yourself. You believe that's true? Yes. And so we're affirming it. And then we take that affirmation and we say, do a good job. Soul of my, I love you. You have the power to heal yourself. Do a good job. So we're empowering that power. We're affirming it. Do a good job. And we're trusting it to do a good job. And the last part of the prayer is, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thankful for that healing power and presence. So I'm going to just go through the steps and let you move through this prayer now in your own situation. So start with soul of my, and you fill in that blank, whatever that is, soul of my, I love you. And send that loving, healing energy to cooperate with the healing that is there. Then you affirm, you have the power to heal yourself. Innately, that divine power is there. So you inwardly say, you have the power to heal yourself. And then encouragement, do a good job. Do a good job. And you conclude your prayer with gratitude for this amazing, amazing healing power. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. And practice it. So, this prayer, or any prayer, is an antidote for worry. You know, when your mind goes down the dark alleyways, how do you bring in the light? Through the prayer of divine remembrance. It could be simple prayer. God is my life. I am that. We remember. We wake up. Or this prayer, if you've used this prayer, you just turn your attention to remembering that which you're praying about knows how to heal itself because divine intelligence is already at work. You remember that. And it'll take you right out of that dark alley and into the light of healing power. I'm going to close with a quote by Rachel Naomi Remen. She wrote, "Days pass and the years vanish and we walk sightless among the miracles. O Holy One, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. And we will exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe and grace is this place, and we did not know it." Om.